I would like to remind everyone to please make sure that our cell phones are turned to the off or vibrate position. And also, please be advised that our city council meetings are broadcast on Comcast Channel 99, AT&T Uverse, the City of Gadsden YouTube channel, and WMGJ Radio. This meeting of the Gadsden City Council will now come to order. The chair will call on City Clerk Alvin Nelson for the roll call.
Councilwoman Toles.
Here.
Councilman Williams.
Here.
Worthy.
Here.
Back.
Here.
Wilson.
Here.
Cannon.
Here.
And Reed.
Here.
We have a quorum present, and our meeting is now open for business.
At this meeting, we have a special treat. I would like for the Gadsden City High School Titans Corps to come forward at this time. And while they're coming forward, I would ask for their principal, Principal Kevin Young, to come forward. He's going to lead the invocation. I would now ask everyone to please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and to remain standing for the national anthem and the song, state song by the Titans.
Invocation first?
Yes.
If you would, please bow your heads. Dear Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all the blessings that you've given us. We want you to be with our city leadership today as they make decisions about our future. We're especially thankful for our students here today that will perform, and we wish everyone a safe recovery or a safe trip back to their place of work or school. And in Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
To thy tell them, so.
As they're leaving, we want you to know that we appreciate you. We think you're doing a good job. And Jennifer Smith, our assistant clerk, daughter is in the choir. Has she gone out yet? Wave at us.
She got out of here quick.
That should get us off to a good start. The chair will entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the Community Development Committee work session and council meeting that was held February the 26th.
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to approve minutes.
The chair will entertain a motion to ratify payments of accounts for the week of February the 22nd through the 28th.
So move.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to ratify payment of the accounts.
Proclamations, Mayor. Unfinished business. No action will be needed regarding the 21 Summerworth Avenue in District 6 because the nuisance has already been abated by the owner. This is the time and place as advertised to conduct a public hearing allowing anyone to speak in opposition to or favor of a resolution abating the nuisance on property located at 526 Plainview Street in District 3. This is Zelma Lee Hicks and Larry Rezor, being the last known owners. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition? If you'll come to the podium and if you'll give your name and address, please.
Hi.
Hi.
Vanessa Pace, representing Zelma Hicks.
Okay, your address.
526 Plainview Street.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
I'm representing Zelma Hicks.
Okay. Is there a request that you are asking of the council? Yes.
That we be given time to bring in contractors to have the property revamped and remodeled.
How much time are you asking?
Well, we need to get contractors in. Can we have 90 days?
30.
Can we have 60? Just work with us.
This is a negotiation,
Just work with us.
okay?
Just work with us. That's all I'm asking.
Okay, can we do 45?
Love it. Oh, Lord, it hurts.
Can we wait before we make that decision to listen at how long? Because we need to know how long this property has been like this.
Right.
So that we can make a decision, a proper decision. Basically, the longest that we do is 30 days.
Okay, can I take the 45?
Give us a minute, let us see
Yeah,
what
we
the
have
building
to see
department
what
has
the
to say.
bill, we have to,
Oh,
Okay.
oh, mercy. Oh, the pot's right, do you?
Yeah.
We're
5, 10,
not
15,
laughing.
20, 25.
Ma'am, it was
Oh,
just
we're-
funny. We're not laughing
good.
at you. I want to help you, but let me see what the, since I represent District 3. Did I understand you right? Do you live at that address or you just?
No,
Okay.
my address is that address, but the property went down. Ms. Hicks is up in age, and now that the property has gotten in the condition it's in, we now, and we've been notified that we have to do something to it, we now want to do something to it. We don't want you guys to tear the house down, and we want to retain the property. So all I'm asking you today is if you would give us time to get some contractors in there, give us some pricing to let us know what we're dealing with, what we need to tear down, if we need to tear the whole thing down and replace it, what your expectations are.
Ma'am, and just so we're clear, so you know how the process works here, just just so you understand, once you're done speaking, the building inspector will come up and they'll share some pictures with us of the property. So, and he'll kind of give his backstory on how long the process has been going, and then we'll make a decision. So we're not going to give you an answer right this second. I just wanted you to feel comfortable up there so you knew how this process was going to work.
Don't
You'll
know
say,
how this is going.
Yeah,
and
so
I'm not
you'll say
feeling
your
comfortable
piece.
none whatsoever.
yes, ma'am, I understand. That's why I interjected. I wanted you to feel at least a little more comfortable. So you'll say your piece and then have a seat, and then the city building department will come up and they'll share some photos with us and give their perspective on the case. Then we'll make a decision.
Who are the building people?
Right there.
These people?
That's him. You can't do anything to him though when you walk by. You can't smack at him. Can't do it. I'm just kidding. I was kidding.
Ma'am, I appreciate you coming. You're doing a real good job. You do a lot better job than most people.
Yes, ma'am.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you.
Lightened it up around this place.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think it's up to Councilman Thomas Worthy anyway. Thomas,
So you have
please,
pictures?
Thomas.
Yes,
Yes.
we,
I need to talk to y'all, not to him, right?
no, you gotta talk to him, but we just,
After
afterwards, let
we-
him do what he's gonna do. He's gonna come up behind you, okay?
You can have a seat and
You can
he's
have a
gonna
seat and we'll-
say his part.
Is there anyone to speak in favor? Of course.
How could you?
Madam President, I've been here a long time. I hate to follow that.
Beautiful.
I'm Brian Harbison with the Building Department. We started this case, actually filed it in May of last year. There've been no pictures, I'm sorry, no improvements. There have no permits. We're asking today for a resolution to abate the nuisance. Thank you.
Let me move back from the mic.
Well,
'cause
listen,
60 days
okay,
ain't
go
gonna
ahead, I'm gonna let you look at it. Yeah, that's the point.
Councilman Worthy, you need to be realistic.
Yes, Madam President, but you know, I like helping people, trying to help them anyway. So, ma'am, you know, I got complaints on it, so I went out and looked at the house myself and took pictures, sent it to the building department. So, I'm gonna ask that the council, we're gonna table it for 30 days. We're gonna give you 30 days to get your contractors and see what they tell you, because looking at the property and the shape that it's in, it may not be worth you putting a whole lot of money into. So, but I will give you 30, I'm gonna ask the council to we're gonna table it for 30 days, and you get someone to look at that property that know what they're talking about, and let them tell you. And if you think you can want to spend that type of money, then we will go from there and we'll work with you, okay?
Second.
Clerk. We've already had a discussion. So basically what they're saying before we vote, basically what Councilman Worthy is saying, that you have 30 days for an assessment as to whether you can go forward on the property or not. Is it worth you spending money? You have 30 days to do that. You understand? Yes. Okay, clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to table the resolution for 30 days, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to table for 30 days.
Our next public hearing is a resolution or an abatement of nuisance on property located at 120 Emerson Street in District 4. This is Christy Todd and Americans Wholesale Lender being the last known owner. Is there anyone to speak in opposition to this resolution? Do anyone wish to speak in favor?
Madam President, this case involves a burned house. It actually burned December the 27th, 2017. There have been no improvements to the property. There was a building permit taken out in August of last year. I have had some communication with the owner. There's possibility that they will have a contract to tear it down, but if not, we will, and then they will settle up with us. But I need a resolution to go on the property, and that's what I'm asking for today. Thank you.
What is the pleasure of the council?
Madam President, I move to abate.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
The next item, no council action is necessary regarding 504 Webster Avenue in District 6 because the nuisance had already been abated by the owner. Our next public hearing is a resolution assessing nuisance abatement on a lien on property at 236 Russell Street in District 1. This is Lisa York and Greg Griffith, personal rep, being the last known owners. This is for cleanup of trash and debris which has already been performed, and the amount is $666.41. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this? Anyone like to speak in favor? The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution assessing nuisance abatement lien on property located at 321 Wilson Street, and this is in District 6. State of Alabama, Christy L. Link and Billy and Laverne Brooks being the last known owner. This is for demolition that's already been performed, and the amount is $2,291.40. Is there anyone to speak in opposition to this resolution? Is there anyone to speak in favor? Clerk, will you take the vote?
We need to get a motion.
Motion to adopt, please.
Second.
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution assessing a nuisance abatement lien on property at 1409 East View Avenue in District 1. This is Larry B. and Della Johnson being the last known owners, and this is for grass cutting that's already been performed, and the amount is $136. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this resolution? Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor? The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So move.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our next public hearing is a resolution assessing a nuisance abatement lien on property located at 1401 Tennessee Avenue. And this is in District 1. This is Wayne Williamson being the last known owner. And this is for grass cutting that has already been performed, and the amount is $136. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition? Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor? The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Are there any discussions? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Okay, this is another public hearing assessing a nuisance abatement on property located at 1419 Robertson Avenue in District 2, State of Alabama, and Angela Russell being the last known owners. And this is for grass cutting work that has already been performed, and the amount is $196. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition of this resolution? Is there anyone who would like to speak in favor? The chair will entertain a motion to adopt this resolution.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Our final public hearing is a resolution assessing nuisance abatement lien on property located at 27, what is it, Shahan Avenue in District 6, Charles Pollock being the last known owner. This is for grass cutting that's already been performed, and the amount is $136. Is there anyone who would like to speak in opposition to this?
I would. Charles Pollard
Your address, please.
is 165 Hood Drive, Sardis City.
Okay.
And so I own this property here on Shahan. So through the years, there's been off and on projects from the city with about grass cutting off and on. So we've been calling back and forth from time to time and wondering why it's been cut when it shouldn't have been cut at times. And so just want to say also that there's times, I had a grass lawn care business at one time, and there's been times I've been out from time to time when in the lawn care business that I noticed the city had been at such properties that I've been paid to mow on a weekly basis, and that the property that I've been at was on their list to be cut when it shouldn't have been, when I personally asked. So, been properties that the city, I'm sure, has just made mistakes. And I'm sure this is one of them, where it's been a mistake that the city may have mowed it by mistake. Because in this case, I pay someone to mow this property now, and I paid them in 2017 to mow this property. And but before that, when I was mowing the property, I kept the grass down, and I called Ms. Harbison's office for the same reason why it was mowed when it should have been mowed when I knew I was mowing the grass. So, in this case, I pay someone to mow the property at the shoe repair shop that I run here in Gadsden and at Shahan Avenue. And so, I don't know what dates that they may have mowed it on. I don't know from the time that they go out and assess the property, if it needs mowing, from that time to the time when they do come out and mow the grass, if the grass has been cut already. I have dates when, even back in 2017, when the grass was cut. And so it may not, or it may correlate with the city's grass cutting dates at that time. However, I hope the council finds today that maybe the lien won't be assessed, because I do pay someone to cut that property and keep it down. I don't know if there's a complaint from neighbors. I don't know if it's the city goes out. I don't know how it works, where the city just goes out and finds property as they're passing by and sees something. Anyway, so we don't also know if the weather has had inclements during that time, back in 2017, where the grass couldn't have been cut. And maybe there was in the process of being cut, and the city may have caught it just in that nick of time to where it needed to be cut, and maybe they couldn't go out at that time and cut it. I don't know back that far, but I do have dates. When I called them, they kept with the dates that they had mowed, and so maybe if the city could get together with me and we can find out what's happening, or if we can understand that it was a mistake that it was done, that the city will find it in my favor. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Mr. Harbison, do we have any pictures of this piece of property, since it's in my district? When we cut this piece of property, do we have any pictures?
We won't take a picture.
Okay. Mr. Pollard don't know me from anybody else, but I was in his establishment a couple of weeks ago, and he was telling me about having a lawn care business. There was another gentleman there that walked into the back. He works for a lawn care business. I think he probably helped him some. I'm going to make a motion that we just strike this off the record and we don't charge Mr. Pollard, please. We don't have any evidence, any records or pictures or anything to this, and I've told the council before, till we start having pictures and stuff we can go by, I just don't see us charging anyone until we have those pictures.
Based on your recommendation, I'll second.
can we at least listen to
We,
Jan?
I mean, we can't, but we never listened to her before. Come on up here if you want. We'll listen to you. You got some pictures, I hope.
No, I do not have any pictures, but I can tell you that it was mowed on June the 2nd, 2017, and it was charged $60.
It was charged $60, you said?
He was sent a letter out, an initial letter about the grass, April the 19th, 2017. And then he was sent a bill letter out on January the 22nd, 2018, because we do billing once a year at the end of the grass cutting season.
I still stand by my recommendation. We've got a second, please.
Are there any further discussion?
Madam President, if I could, I'd just like to say, Mr. Pollard, I can assure you that in my short time here at the city, I don't believe that any of our city officials have the free time to go out and cruise properties to see if they need cutting. I mean, most often when these things come in, they are triggered by a neighbor's complaint or a neighbor's referral to the Public Works Department, just so you know. And also, moving forward, we just approved a software component that the Public Works and Building Department can use, where they actually will be taking pictures at the time that they cut the grass, so that there will be some digital records. So hopefully we can eliminate this and prevent it from happening again in the future. But yeah, just to be clear, these guys are up to their eyeballs in grass cutting and demolition of abated and abandoned houses. They certainly don't have time to go out and find them on their own.
If I'm not mistaken, there's probably 3 behind the old, I call it the old Western Auto, used to be there. There's that old building right there. Next door to it was the house the Archers owned. It was vacated. Across the street, there's a duplex that's vacated, and I think there might be one more, so there's probably 4 pieces of property there. So we could have cut the wrong piece of property. Without having pictures to prove it, I don't know.
Well, Council Cannon, I think I asked, maybe in pre-council and previous, at what point do we stop what you're just asking us to do? Because then everybody can come up here and say that they cut their grass, and that and we don't have any pictures. And so here we have Public Work out cutting property, and we're not getting reimbursed for it, for people who just refuse to cut their property.
Ms. Toes, I've been over this once before, but I'd like to go over it again. My wife cuts our grass at 7 Winona. She's got a brand-new rider. She's got a push mark pulls herself. My grass at our house gets cut twice a week. Never gets over 3 inches tall because she don't let it. She weed eats. She does her flower beds. She's just a wonderful lady. And this summer, I was in my house and some group from the city pulled up, and she said, "There's a group of people out here in front of your house, in front of the house." And I said, "Okay." City employees, they come to cut my grass. And it was like 3 inches tall. I've got that solved, but we're going to start taking pictures this year. Public Works Assistant Director Mike Hilton says we're going to. And starting with this grass season, we should have all the pictures. They promised us we got all the software, so we shouldn't have any more trouble after this.
Okay.
It was my recommendation to begin with that we start taking pictures, because this is not the first person that's came up here about this. I can go on and on and on, but I'd rather not.
Okay. All right. Clerk, will you take the vote?
All righty, I believe the motion that we have is to strike this or to
Yes.
not assess the lien. So if you vote yes, you're voting to not assess the lien. Those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed,
Aye.
we have 1 no. Motion carries that the lien not be assessed.
Thank you, Mr. Pollard, for coming today.
Our first reading, ordinance authorizing conveyance of property located at 911 Vincent Avenue to Craig Ford. Sealed bids were accepted for the sale of the property, and the amount was $854. And this ordinance has been presented today for first reading, and the council will vote on it next week. Is there any new business?
Madam President, I have one that I'd like to ask for immediate consideration. This comes from the mayor's office, and this is a resolution authorizing the cancellation of a lease agreement with Lindeen and Associates LLC for the restaurant space at 210 at the Tracks, Sugar Moon. I'd like to ask for unanimous consent.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today as an item of new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
I ask to move for adoption.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Is there another item for new business?
Yes, Madam President, I have a resolution authorizing a new lease agreement with 415 LLC for the restaurant space at 210 on the Tracks.
Ask for unanimous consent.
I'd like to ask for unanimous
Second.
consent.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today under new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Move to adopt.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Okay. Is there another item of new business?
Yes, Madam President, I'd like to ask the council to entertain this motion this item for consideration today. It's a resolution authorizing a First Amendment to the ground lease with TWS Gadsden LLC. This is the limited liability corporation that is representing the Buffalo Wild Wings project.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today under new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Is there any more new business?
Yes, Madam President. I guess we saved the best for last. It's a request from the clerk's office. It's a resolution for the Board of Education, District 3, candidate Z. Andre Huff, Gadsden City Board of Education, elected without opposition. May I ask for unanimous consent?
Second.
Clerk, will you take the vote?
Those in favor to consider the resolution today under new business, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, consent has been granted.
Move for adoption.
Can we talk offline about it? I think only one resolution is necessary. Okay.
Move for adoption.
Second.
Oh, I think I was negligent. We didn't get unanimous consent.
I thought we did.
I called
just
for the
did.
vote and.
Okay,
He
okay.
just now moved.
All righty, I'm sorry. I had a little side conversation
I
going.
know.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Attorney.
Yeah, he needs to stay in his lane.
We appreciate it, sir.
Good luck.
Most
Those in favor to adopt the resolution, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries to adopt.
Congratulations. Can I say something? Or can I wait? Okay, I'll just wait.
Yeah. I think the clerk needs to discuss further the certification as to when the swearing in, because I'm sure that will be city clerk.
We had looked at the provisions. I did have a conversation with an employee in the legal department this morning. Probably you weren't in on the conversation, but we think that the resolution authorizes the certificate to be signed. We didn't think the second resolution was necessary. Oh, no, he's giving me that look. Okay.
It'll be word that'll go.
If
Okay.
Mr. Attorney is correct, we'll probably be coming back next week. Say, we need to do one more thing.
Okay.
Couldn't we
will-
do that one thing today and not have to do it next week, Mr. Attorney? Couldn't we go ahead and do
We have to draft
that
a
today,
separate
so we don't have to do it
resolution.
next week if we have to?
What we gotta do?
We can, but, someone in my office and clerk, so we don't have to.
Listen, don't be messing
It's
with
really-
our city
if-
clerk now.
At risk of
I mean-
being too on the nose, this is a little bit of the inmates running the asylum, isn't it?
Well, both of them basically, because as you know, attorney, I read both of the resolution, and both of them basically read the same. One just had a sample of the certification on it, and the other one was just the resolution, which basically stated the same thing.
Yes, in so many words it does, you know. Reiterate some parts of it. I'll make it work. I'll go to you.
It's a done deal now. Reports from the board, any department, committees, marks by the mayor and council. Mayor, do you have any? No, ma'am. Councilman William?
I do have a couple quick items. As it relates to the grass, that whole scenario was very uncomfortable for me, I have to say. So I'd like for us as a body to resolve the grass cutting issue once and for all. I know we made some attempts in the past, but, you know, we kind of stepped all over ourselves today. So I'd really like to resolve that going forward. Because I think the city departments try to do their due diligence before it gets to us. And I'd like to be supportive of them when they present evidence. And I completely, Councilman Cannon, I completely understand your position. You have a constituent to support. So what I'm saying is not against your position. I completely understand that. But I was very uncomfortable today. That's not how I'd like to do business going forward.
Like I did.
Second thing is I'd like to, you know, extend our thoughts and prayers to the folks in Lee County who just went through a very horrific incident. So, you know, and I would task the mayor and all city departments who have supported other cities in the past to continue to reach out and support where we can. And likewise with the flooding. I know that there are a number of citizens throughout the county and surrounding counties that are dealing with the flooding. So likewise they're in our thoughts and prayers. And you know, again, we offer up our support where we can. That's it.
Councilman Worthy?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, my sentiments and thoughts are with Lee County and also in other places that the tornado hit on the other day. But I want to say congratulations to Mr. Huff. We had no opposition in District 3, so that means we won't even, Iva, is that correct? We won't even have an election at Carver for
Yes.
District 3,
You are
Carver.
only required to put a name on the ballot when there's more than one person that qualified.
So we won't have an election, so District 3 won't have to worry about going out to Thompson or to the old Gadsden High. We have 3 precincts, so we just want to say thank you. And that's all I have.
Councilman Back?
Thank you, Madam President. I wanted to also congratulate Reverend Huff. We're proud of you and look forward to another exciting term for you, and appreciate what you do for our children and our community. And Marana Park is in my district, District 4. It's just right down here. Saturday afternoon, there were probably 30 to 40 people enjoying the park, which is fantastic. The only problem is the park's not open. So please keep that in mind. There are a few punch list items to do, maybe like some caps on some screws and some protruding type things like that that could cause some injury or harm. It is properly signed that it's not open, that it says closed. So please, citizens, obey that. And I think March 16th, is that right?
That's correct.
We're gonna have a grand opening, and it'll be open then, and we're praying for wonderful weather, like we had Saturday, that prompted folks to come out. I'm excited to see people excited about using it. I just want to make sure that everybody knows that it's just not quite ready. There's a few items left to go. And it was great having our high school choral group here today. You know, we have one high school in the city of Gadsden, and we're represented well on so many different levels with our students. And today was just another great example of the talent that we have and the type of educators that we have leading those students, and the program that we, the many programs that we have in place at our local high school. That group and larger groups than that, that's kind of a subsection of the total group. They perform all the time. If you go to the Gadsden City High School website, you'll see performances just like football and basketball games and baseball games and things like that. They're really outstanding, and they really deserve our support to go and listen. It'll really, as you probably felt today, it'll kind of brighten your day to get to hear those great voices. And I also wanted to invite you, I have one school in my district, which is your Brown Elementary School. Tonight at 6 o'clock, the entire third grade is giving a Black History presentation. This is a wonderful program, and I encourage all of you to show up and support those students and to see what they've been working on and learning, more importantly, over this last few weeks and months. So I plan on being there, and I encourage all of y'all to be there as well. There's, of course, no charge. It's just a way to, again, support our children that are doing wonderful things in our school system. Madam President, that's all I have.
All right. Councilman Wilson.
Congratulations, Reverend Huff. Look forward to your continued service. Thank you very much.
Councilman Cannon.
Congratulations, Mr. Huff. I appreciate you, and I know you'll do a good job carrying on what you've been doing. You do a good job. I just want to touch base on what Councilman Williams said. He missed the Public Works Committee meeting today. We talked about taking the pictures every time they go cut a yard or a residence. They're going to take a picture of the cutting before and the cutting when they get through. It'll be sent up here. They'll be stored up here. From this point on, from this grass cutting on, we shouldn't have to worry about people coming and say, hey, they didn't cut my grass. We sat up here. We don't know if the grass was cut. There's 5 places or 4 places on that street I know that needed cutting. I hadn't heard that, we charged any of those people or anything. So, I don't know. But if I think if a person takes their time out right now and comes up here and kind of protests or talks and says they didn't cut it, and there's all kind of situations you have to think about. And if I hadn't been in this man's establishment and heard him talking about his lawn care business and another man there that had a lawn care business that worked, with him, it might have been a different thing. But I go by this street all the time, and there was more than one place needed cut on that street the whole summer. So I just think with the picture taken, we should be able to do a better job than what we're doing now.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that they didn't cut it. I don't know it, but they do make mistakes. We make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. But when the pictures are here, this all should be taken care of. We didn't have to worry about who says this and that. They've got to have to take more time to go out there and take a picture before and a picture after. We've always said some people came up here and told us that the cutting wasn't good. It was too high. So now we'll know what the cutting's going to look like when they get through.
Yeah.
I think this is going to help us.
Yeah, Councilman Cadden, again, you have to take that position, and I support it. It's probably what I would do if this were in my district, but we looked clumsy today.
I agree 100%. I always like to have 100% every time we vote, but, I didn't today, but, I just felt like it was the right thing to do. That's all I have.
Councilman Reed.
I think it's been one of the best meetings I ever seen. I really do.
It's been different anyway.
Oh, my goodness. I'm on a bid more. I'll never forget that. I'm going to get a
That's
copy
classic.
of the DVD on that one. Reverend Huff, you know that I'm glad you're going to continue on the board. No doubt about it. Congratulations, really. March the 16th, Marana Park. That's my birthday. Welcome, everybody. Presents are accepted. Just come on down anytime. That park is looking extremely well.
It really is.
This man right here is gonna have hot dogs. Always. Hey, y'all, last week, I gotta say this, and, man's gonna kill me, but last week I misspoke. I said that in the last 10 or 15 years, we got no help from the state of Alabama. I got home, it dawned on me, Larry Means probably has meant more to this council, this city, and I didn't exactly know why. I said that because he has in education and roads, whatever. But I got home and I said, well, I'm just gonna call him. So I called him and called him and called him and called him. Finally answered the telephone. And he said, I know you've been calling me. I said, oh, well, why? I watched the program. Okay. But thanks to Larry, and really, it's not an apology, it's just a misstep on my part.
Ben, I met him at the bank one day last week, and he told me he wasn't accepting your calls.
He really was. No, he was really funny about it, and came out really okay. But he's been with us all the way, and it's my fault. I misspoke. A lot of times I misspeak about you, but I hang in there with you.
I appreciate that.
Just really quick, I wanted to, and I missed the opportunity to congratulate Reverend Huff as well. So congratulations on the second term, and we're excited about you being able to serve again for your district. So keep up the good work. And I can't go home if I don't take the opportunity to recognize my wife's birthday this past weekend. So happy birthday, baby, and many, many more.
I also want to say hey to my wife. She's sitting out there. She normally don't want me to say nothing. That's why she's looking at me crazy right now. But also, she was, she still is Mr. Huff's campaign manager. So we just want to get that out there. So she's 3-0 now.
That's some easy work.
So, Pastor Huff, with unanimous congratulations, I'm not going to be in opposition. I congratulate you also.
Make it stop.
Due to the National League of Cities Conference, there will be no city council work session or meeting on Tuesday, March the 12th, 2019. And also due to the Alabama League of Municipalities, the legislative day is going to be on March the 19th. So the city council will not meet at that session, but we will meet on the 20th of March, 2019. Also, we've had the Gadsden City High Core Group, but just like to give you the names of the Merit Scholars. We have Linton Roberts, Ann Roberts, Mustafa Irver, and Joshua Kelly. These are the Merit Scholars at the Gadsden City High School. 2 of them are cousins, and one of them just happens to be our attorney's son, Lee Roberts. So we'd like to congratulate them. And hopefully on Youth Day, we'll invite them here so that we will be able to properly say we appreciate them and congratulate them. And also, Chief Jagger's son, he's a wrestler, so I'll just say Chief Jagger needs to watch out as his son gets older. But we'd like to let everybody know that we have good students, and we have children that are doing a lot of good things in our city and in our school system, and we just love to recognize them. And also, we just like to recognize all of our attendees that come to our city council meeting to just help us to move along. Even those who wear glasses and wear shades, we're just very glad to have them in our audience. Is there anything else that come before us?
Madam President?
Yes.
I'll reiterate what you said about Samuel Jaggers. He came in 3rd place in the state wrestling tournament, and I had been keeping up with that, but for 14 years, that might be the second or either the first wrestler we've had from Gadsden City to place in the state tournament. So that's quite an accomplishment. In a 7A school, you can imagine the level of competition that Samuel was up against. So that's a pretty big deal.
You're tearing him up because he hates that attention.
And one final thing, we talked about the devastation that happened in Lee County, and I know that there will be groups around the area that's going to be doing different things. So if we can volunteer as a city, I know the EMA always comes up, and I'm real in favor of, in fact, a group that I'm a part of, constantly we're still collecting things in the mud bucket, because you have to have a cleanup before you can really do anything. So this will be something that everybody can do. Any type of cleaning supplies, not necessarily any type, but the MEA has that list. And so we're just blessed as a city that tornadoes didn't hit here, because you're talking about 20-something people who lost their lives. And so we're blessed, and by being blessed, then we should be able to help someone else. And so I appreciate you all doing whatever you can. If nothing else, I ask for a motion for adjournment.
Second.